Hello, my butterfly beauties, and welcome. If you are new, my name is Charlene, and on this channel, we discuss everything beauty, fragrance, and lifestyle. So if you like my style, why don't you subscribe and you stay a while? In today's video, we are going to go over my Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I told you guys what I would recommend, but what did I actually buy? We're like halfway through the sale, and I have some thoughts. Like, what did you actually buy? You recommended these things, but what did you actually buy? And better yet, what did you find better, like better deals at Sephora? Yes, I said it. You know, Sephora is Ulta's competitor, and like to hop on that bandwagon whenever Ulta have that sale, and they will run, they have that brand in their store, they will run the same sale over there. But this year, they did it with a twist. So, if you want to see my thoughts on what I picked up so far, because some items I recommended, but some I changed my mind on. So I'll let you know all that in this video. If that sounds good to you, then just let's get started. All right, so when I hopped on with you guys doing my recommendation video of this, the sale had already started, and I wasn't too interested in some of the stuff they did in the preview. That was for the Diamond and Platinum members. Now, they did have like a Juicy Couture fragrance. They had some other little things. It just was things I wasn't interested in, because I have that bubbly perfume. I have it in a travel spray still, and I haven't played with it enough to know if I want to get it in a bigger size. And I'm wondering what they're going to do on that last day, because like I told you guys, and they've been advertising, although the sale says March 6th through the 26th, they say check back on the 27th because there's something new. And that's what they did last time in the fall. And what they did was they opened up a lot of the sale items that they had on previous days back up on that one day. So if you was on the fence about something, check back on the 27th if you decided not to pick it up, because it may very well become available that day. Not saying it will happen again, but that's what they did last time. They opened up several of the items back up on an extra day after the sale ended. So if you was, I just happened to stumble across that because I don't believe it was advertised last time. It just happened. But this time they're saying check back on the 27th. So we'll see if that's still the case, or if they're going to do some surprise new opportunities for 50% off, because 50% off is a great deal, you guys. So you can't turn a blind eye to that, especially right now in the economy we have. Yes, you don't have to buy anything, but if you have things on your wish list or things that you've been curious about getting, but you've been holding off, 50% off is the best time to pick those items up. So with all that being said, let's start off on the 6th. I did not get the MAC blushes that I was eyeballing. And I told you guys about the Ariana Cloud 2.0 perfume. I already have that in my collection, so I did not get an extra one of those. And then on that Saturday, March 7th, they had that Because of You Giorgio Armani perfume. And I told you guys that I only was going to pick that up if my husband really wanted it. It was a great deal. And I opted not to get that Urban Decay Set and Mist, because I already have plenty, so I don't need any more right now. But Sunday, March the 8th, I said that I was curious about trying that Laura Mercier Translucent Pressed Setting Powder, right? And I did get, drum roll please, I did end up picking up the Vera Wang Love perfume. So this is a 1 fluid ounce or 30 ml that they had available on the site for that, on that sale for half off. So I did pick up this, but I didn't get the powder. Yep, I got the perfume. I just decided not to get the powder. So this one came. I said I was curious about trying that powder, but I looked at my powders and I said, girl, you got enough powders right now. So I'm trying. I am trying. I am trying. All right. So on the 9th, I told you guys that I was thinking about picking up that Purity cleanser, facial cleanser, because I heard great things about that. I opted not to get that either. I see Purity a lot in like TJ Maxx, and of course it's in Ulta. So I say I don't need to get that right now. If I moved in the future to pick that up, I will. But that facial cleanser, I decided to pass on the 9th. I told you guys I wasn't interested in anything else until March the 11th, which was that Wednesday. So I did pick up something on that Wednesday. But what I was super shocked by was the fact that Sephora not only matched that Ellis Brooklyn sale, because they only had salt. Ellis Brooklyn, Ulta only had this one. So I picked this one up from Ulta because I want to accumulate my points, you guys. My points has accumulated so much. Like, I am going to get me some new perfumes. They're coming. I'm going to cash them all in. I'm just letting it keep racking up. Because, you know, the more you let it sit and rack up, the more it builds. And I just let it sit there and I let it build. And I let it build and I let it build. And what I'm going to do is cash it in like I did in the fall when I got my Marc Jacobs perfume. My Marc Jacobs Absolute perfume. I got it for free pretty much because my points covered it. That's what I'm going to do with some of these newer perfumes that I got my eye on. I'm going to cash it in with some of my reward money. You got to think smart about things, you guys. So going back to this, the Sephora versus Ulta battle on this day, because Sephora won. Just saying it. Sephora won. And the only reason why I got this one from Ulta is just so I can get my reward money from it. But let me tell you, let me show you this. You see these? Not only did Sephora have salt, they have vanilla milk. Yes. They had the rose. And I was able to get florist. So I went ahead and picked these up because, you guys, I've been slowly collecting some of the Ellis Brooklyn items. I'm going to do like a brand video eventually, especially after I test these. Plus, I have like a discovery kit of several of their other fragrances. So I'm definitely going to do a video on these. But Sephora won this battle. And not only did they have that on there that day, but they also had Tangerine Boy from Fleur on sale on the site. So I picked this one up because same with this one. I have several of Fleur's products. I haven't shared everything with you guys yet, but I want to see what this one is going to give. And this one has lemon, ginger, black pepper, apple, tangerine, jasmine petal, and amber and moss. One of you guys was telling me about this one. And I think it was the Duals version of this one, which I did end up picking up. I just haven't hauled it with you guys yet. And I'm going to see how close it is to this one, because I believe they discontinued this one. If I'm not mistaken, I saw they were discontinuing this scent. And I want to see how close the Duals version is to this one. So they had this on sale, so I went ahead and picked that up. And then, of course, you know, I got my 2 samples in here. So I love getting the perfume samples. And this one is the Million Gold by Paco Rabanne for her. So I'm going to get to test that one out. So Sephora won the battle, you guys, because they not only had salt, but they had these available. They're like, okay, I'll give you your salt and raise you 3. I loved it on that day. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So I digress. So that was what I picked up on March through 11th. So the last day I have to share with you in this particular video was the day of Thursday, March the 12th, because my other items haven't arrived yet. So we'll talk about that later. But this day was the item I told you guys about, that Truly shave kit. Like they not only had the shave kit, they had all the different serums and different things, but I opted this time not to pick anything up because I did get quite a few items from them and TJ Maxx recently from the Truly brand. So I was like, you don't need any more right now. So I decided not to get that, but I did get those Morphe palettes. I think they had 4 available because they only showed 1 on the paper when you first looked at it, but they had 4 different options. And I decided to pick up 3. I got 3 out of the 4. So this one is Flickering Sands. So this one is your more neutral toned one. This is your more neutral tone, and this is called Moonstone. And then the other one here, of course, is Rose Frequency. So it's your rosy kind of colors. So picked up those 3 on that day, as well as they had this Alien Hypersense. So got this as well in there. So they showed you a big bottle on the site. I mean, on the paper, they showed like a 1 ounce or whatever size bottle. But the only thing they was actually having 50% off was this travel pen. So this is one of their 10 mils in the Alien Hypersense. So this is what they had on sale, which was a bummer because I was like, really? You're showing that whole big old bottle, but this is the only thing that you was doing a 50% off on. So this one was a disappointment as far as this was the only size available. But I'll get to try the scent because I do love my Alien, as you guys know. And then I just picked up that super floral one that I showed you guys in that 1 Too Sweet video. And I believe I have Alien Goddess up there too. So we shall see. But I did get the travel in this one. And you guys, I almost forgot. I got 2 goodie baggies from a couple of these orders. So I'm going to go through real quickly and see what we got in these, because that's another perk for the Diamond and Platinum members. And even some of the regular members is that they will allow you to add to cart some of these goodie bags that they put together for free, or after you meet so much money in your basket, it'll be free. So in this particular, it's a little white bag they got here. This one has a Belief Moisturizing Eye Balm. It has a Tarte Man Eater Mascara, an e.l.f. Smoky Cold Eyeliner in Rare Emerald, so a green color here. They have a Sally Hansen Insta Dry nail polish here. This is the Origin Utopia Refining Apple Peel, which this is interesting because the moisturizer I've been using and I'm almost finished up with is the Origins Utopia Moisturizer. So this is the Peptide Plumping Apple Cream, and this one is the Refining Apple Peel. So this is a peel, I guess, that they have. Interesting. I didn't know they made a whole line of that. All right, and then this next thing they have here is a Sage or Sage. This is a Power Down Calming Oil Blend. Interesting. Don't know what this is, but it says it's a calming oil, so we'll see. Might be something you put on your temples or something. All right, so that's all that's in the first bag. And this next bag here is way bigger. So let's see what's in this one. All right, first off, IGK Body Language. This is the Rice Water Plumping and Thickening Mist. So got this. Then we have an Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extension Mascara. A First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads with glycolic and lactic acids. A Pattern Leave-In Conditioner. This is another one of those Tarte Man Eater mascaras. This is a Estee Lauder Revitalizing Supreme Night Power Bounce Cream. Then we have this from, it says Live Tinted Blush Crush Liquid Blush in Magnetic. We have Clinique Happy. This is a perfume spray in a 4 ml. We have a single eyeshadow from Natasha Denona from her Eye Sculpt palette, and this is the shade Y2. So this is one of her shades that she has actually in that palette, which this is a nice blending shade, crease shade. And then we have another mascara, and this is the Lash Sculpt from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So that is everything that was in those bags. And you guys, that was everything so far that has come in. So enjoying the sale so far. Like I mentioned, it's some things that I decided not to get. And as the days go along, I may decide the same thing. I may decide that some of the things I was going to thinking about getting, I'm not going to get. Or I may decide to get them. We shall see. But tell me, you guys, did you pick up anything from this Ulta? Or did you just hop on over to Sephora and just get all your items from there? Because I know some people are still like, Ulta, no. Ulta, no. And we know why. Because that ticketing mess that they had with us, I'm saying us because I was included. I tried and was bamboozled like everybody else with that process. But I told you guys in that video that although some people were like, I'm on the Ulta ban, I would never shop at Ulta again. That's not what the step I was taking. My step on this Ulta situation was that I just felt like they should have handled things better from a business perspective. And I think they need to make it right with their customers. Now, was I gonna kick them to the curb and never go back to them again? I never said I was gonna do that, you guys. I've always held either a diamond or platinum status with them because I love shopping with them, and I love shopping with them because of their rewards that they offer us. But I am still a Sephora girl too. I am a Rouge over there. So I shop at both places. And so I go wherever my money can go the furthest. So like I said, I got this one from Ulta because I still wanted to be able to get my rewards. See, Sephora doesn't give you the rewards like Ulta do, but they gave us more options over there. So I went with the other options that I had been wanting in my collection. So that's why I have those from them and decided not to get the salt from them. Not because it was the same price, but that I'm going to get my money's going to go further at the other one because of the rewards connected to it. Had Ulta had all of those available on the Ulta site, well, guess where I would have got them? So you got to make it work for you. You got to make your money go the furthest for you. And I'm letting, like I said, I'm letting those rewards stack on up. And then I'm going to cash them in on whatever I want to cash them in on. But I digress. Let me know down below what you guys have picked up from the sale. I would love to know if you decide to get them, like I said, from Ulta, or if you opted to get it from Sephora. I would love to know, how are you taking advantage of this 50% off? Because that's the point. We're getting these 50% off. So we're saving money on our pockets on things we would have already purchased. And when we can get something for a better price economically, that's what we want to do. So I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.